Hi, I'm Anne Marie from Teacher to Teacher Help. In this video, I'm going to share with you a powerful daily ritual that you can add to your writing workshop that will dramatically improve your students' use of grammar and conventions. This daily ritual is a great alternative to the practice of using daily oral language sentences or daily editing sentences. We know that that practice doesn't transfer into students' daily writing, but the one that I'm going to share with you today actually does. So this is the use of dictation sentences. I first saw this being used really effectively in a first grade classroom at the end of writing workshop. So what this teacher did was had little whiteboards at the center of every student's table, and they just stayed there all of the time. And at the end of writing workshop, students would put their folders and their materials away and then immediately pull out their whiteboards and their dry erase markers that were inside their sock erasers. And the teacher would dictate a sentence. Students would then write the sentence down using whatever they could remember about proper spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Now, what I love about this practice is this teacher did this as an assessment-based practice. Every day she was conferring with several of her students and she was noticing things. Now, she didn't want to just fix up her students' writing and do editing conferences with her students, but she was making note of the grammar and convention skills that they were struggling with. Things like forgetting to capitalize I when it's all by itself, or adding punctuation marks or capitalization. So instead of focusing on that during her conferences, she focused on the other qualities of strong writing, like the structure of the writing or adding details to the writing. But she made note on her conferring form that students were struggling with these skills. And then at the end of writing workshop, she would dictate sentences that included examples of those skills. So for example, if she noticed that they were confusing words like two, and two in their writing, those homophones that are so tricky, then she would dictate sentences that would have examples of those in. Or they were not putting the proper punctuation at the end of sentences. Maybe they were putting periods, but they needed to be putting question marks or exclamation points. So whatever it was, whatever she noticed, then she would dictate a sentence that incorporated those skills. The other thing that I love about this, not only that it's assessment-based, but she was able to provide immediate feedback to her students, because as soon as they wrote their sentences, they would hold up their whiteboards and then she would immediately walk around the room, and instead of making their corrections, she would give them a number. So if she noticed that they had 2 errors, she might say, 2, and the students would put their boards back down and try to find those 2 errors until they had found all of them. It became more of a game. She's giving them that immediate feedback in the moment. If she noticed that a lot of students were missing something, then she would quickly do a very, I wouldn't even call it a mini lesson, just a micro lesson on a reminder of what that skill is. So she was able to tie it into students' daily writing, what they were struggling with, give them immediate practice, and then hold them accountable for using those skills. It's something that's super simple. You don't need to have any special sentences prepared ahead of time. Just notice what your students are doing, and then you can make up a sentence and dictate that. Something that makes it even more engaging is if you use your students' names in the sentences, or you use things that are happening in the classroom, in the school, in the community. So engagement goes up. And tying that into their daily writing, into their daily lives, it's just a huge bang for your buck. Doesn't take a lot of extra time, doesn't take any extra planning, but has a dramatic effect on students applying those skills in their own writing, not just on other people's sentences that come from some book that are posted on a board every day. So I hope that's something that you can try in your classroom, and more importantly, I hope that you see students starting to transfer these skills into their daily writing.